Sarah, can we ask you a couple of questions?
Good morning.
Happy Friday, Sarah. The markets are already responding. Sarah, the markets. Sarah, the markets are
Hold on,
already.
Kristen. Let me take the mic and then I'll come around. Sure.
The USMCA, the administration wants that passed up on Capitol Hill.
America wants that.
Why should lawmakers up on Capitol Hill go forward with the USMCA with members in their constituents in their districts that are paying now more for Mexican goods?
They should go through with that because it's good for American workers and it's good policy. It's good for farmers, it's good for manufacturers, it's good for the unions, it's good for everybody. It's a great deal and it's something that we should move forward with. Frankly, we should be able to solve these other problems as well, and we're hopeful that we will.
The administration had been saying that, the president had been saying that Mexico was going to pay for the wall. That hasn't happened. That the USMCA then was going to pay for the wall. Now it seems as if the USMCA is in dire straits. So how's the wall going to get paid for?
Again, we're going to continue focusing on the national security component here. We want to work with Mexico. That's why the president has been asking for months for Mexico to engage, to step up, to do more. We're going to build the wall. We're going to secure our border, and the president's going to do what's necessary to protect the American people.
Sarah, the president is the president.
What have they said about the subject?
We've been giving them advance warning for months. We've asked them repeatedly and told them they have to do more. Let's not forget that the average individual that crosses over the southern border of Mexico, it takes 21 days before they reach the United States border. That gives them 3 weeks in which to break up, particularly these large groups. Just this week we had over 1,000 people that moved as a massive group through Mexico and came to our border untouched. They could have easily broken up this group, arrested them, or sent them back home, and they didn't do anything. We're asking Mexico to enforce their own laws to help stop the people coming in from Central America. We've seen a massive influx of people coming from that region, and they have certainly the ability and the legal authority in which to deal with it, and we're simply asking them to do that.
Sarah, thank you. A couple of questions. One, the markets are already responding poorly to the president's latest tariff threat, and there's broad agreement that American consumers are going to bear the brunt of this, including and especially the auto industry. So why should U.S. consumers bear the brunt of the president's trade policy?
They shouldn't, frankly. Congress should actually fix the laws and we wouldn't have this problem. Mexico should engage with us and we wouldn't have to take any additional steps. But at the same time, the #1 duty that the President of the United States has is national security and to protect Americans. If we don't have security at our border and we don't know who's coming in and we can't process them and we're being totally overrun, as we're seeing the numbers get worse and worse, the President has constitutional obligation to step up and do something. This is truly, and even Democrats are starting to admit, it's a humanitarian and national security crisis and it has to be dealt with. Unfortunately, the president's the only one that's actually stepping up and putting forward things to stop it.
And this is based on the president's emergency powers.
One more on North Korea. Has the administration confirmed the reports overnight that multiple officials have been executed by Kim Jong-un's regime and some sentenced to hard labor?
I'm not going to comment on intelligence one way or another. I can tell you we're monitoring the situation and continuing to stay focused on our ultimate goal, which is denuclearization.
The tariffs are based on the president's emergency powers, which have been challenged.
Can you say the first part?
Tariffs are based in part on the president's emergency powers, which have been challenged in court. There's also a possibility of economic disruption. Is the administration like about one restraining order away from having the tariffs tied up in courts for months?
Not at all. The president has the legal authority to do this through IEPA. In fact, that gives him much broader authority than he's even taken on this front. This is a measured response to the authority that he has. There's case law that supports it from precedent where this has been done in the past. And again, the president is going to fulfill his duty. It would be nice if Congress would fulfill theirs.
Sarah, a couple questions. Just last month, the president was praising Mexico for stepping up and doing more. What changed between then and now that prompted him to make this announcement yesterday? And also, can you offer any details about how you'll gauge Mexico's progress, and are there specific numbers you're targeting for them to bring down?
They've done some, but not enough. Again, they have absolute ability and authority to do a lot more than they're doing. Again, a massive number of these individuals are coming from Central America. That's where we've seen the greatest increase come from. Outrageous numbers coming all the way through, starting at Mexico's southern border, all the way through Mexico into the United States. Like I said, that takes on average 21 days. They're moving in mass groups, mass caravans. They see this, they have the ability to stop it. They also have the legal authority to return them back home, something we don't have here in the United States. This is imperative. If they take that action, it will make a huge difference, and we're simply asking them to do that.
There's concern about retaliatory tariffs from Mexico, and also NAFTA is still currently the law of the land, and tariffs are not permitted on at least half of Mexican imports at this point. So how are you going to handle those two situations?
The president is concerned about national security. He's concerned about protecting Americans. That's his number one focus, and that's what we're looking at doing. Jen, last question.
Does the U.S. have a specific list of things that the Mexicans need to do in order to avoid these tariffs? Is there
Like I just said, one of the biggest things they can do is the repatriation of the thousands of people coming from Central America. They can return them back home. They can stop these massive caravans from coming through their country into ours. That would be a very big first step. Certainly we've made some progress on the asylum, but we need to do a lot more on that front. And again, we're hopeful that they'll do that.
Sarah, after the tweets last night from both President Trump and the President of Mexico, have the two leaders spoken?
They have not spoken directly, but certainly their teams have been in regular communication. And like I said, we have been talking to Mexico for months, asking them to step up and do more, and our teams will continue to work together.
Why did the president blindside his own party with this?
The president didn't blindside his own party. If Republicans weren't aware, then they haven't been paying attention. I don't mean that in a bad way, but the president's been talking about, we notified a number of members of Congress prior to the statement yesterday, but at the same time, anybody in this country or frankly in the world that says that they're surprised by this has been living under a rock and not paying attention. The president's been crystal clear that we have to take action, we have to step up, we have to do more, and we have to secure our borders.